Hey guys, YouTuber and editor. Alright, now here I am continuing on with these sports movie reviews. And now, continuing, here I am with a review for Caddyshack. So, yeah, this was pretty good overall. I mean, yeah, this is like a really good comedy film right here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this film was uh, really like ESPN has really like described this film as like perhaps the funniest sports movie ever made, and yeah, it definitely does is up there. Like it does have like a really yeah, it really does have like a real big chunk of like good humor in this film. And yeah, it is pretty funny. Of course, like this film like stars Chevy Chase and Rodney Dangerfield, and so yeah, I mean two like comedy legends right here. So yeah, they're like really good main characters in this. I mean, yeah, Rodney Dangerfield, like this film really is like one of like his big hits. Like Rodney Dangerfield's movie career, it really is kind of like a hit and miss. Like this film and Back to School were really like uh Rodney Dangerfield's like two best films really yeah, those are really like the films that he had that really were like real big hits, and yeah, really were the films that really were like the most successful for him. Yeah, the rest of Rodney Dangerfield's movie career, it's kind of like hit and miss because yeah, Rodney Dangerfield has like done like quite a lot of movies that really didn't do all that well. Like of course, like there was that film like Rover Dangerfield, which pretty much like he came up with everything having to do with that film. Like he like pretty much like did everything. He produced it, wrote it. Yeah, I mean he came up with the idea for that. Yeah, I mean that really didn't do very well. And yeah, Rodney Dangerfield, like he's done like quite a lot of other like movies as well that really were not very big successes. Yeah, I mean Rodney Dangerfield really like did get most of his success as a stand-up comedian, and yeah, Rodney Dangerfield really like did like have some really good comedy acts. I mean, yeah, he's like been mostly been like known for his one-liners that he would always have whenever like he would like go on stage or like be on a talk show or whatever. Like that was like really where he is what he was like really most known for. Or yeah, and in this film, like he just like delivers like a bunch of one-liners. So yeah, Rodney Dangerfield just is his usual self in this film. Yeah, and this film also does feature like other or stars like Ted Knight, Bill Murray, uh, Scott Colombe, Dan Resin, and even Brian Doyle Murray makes a appearance in this film. So, oh yeah, it does have a decent cast to it. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, yeah, it really is a good comedy film. Yeah. The premise of this film is that there's a young kid who's probably like around 17, 18 years old, and he does work uh, as a caddy at a golf course, or still just like earn money for in order for him to go to college because yeah he failed it to win a scholarship. So yeah, he's trying to like set up a college fund for himself, and so he's working as a caddy at a golf course. And then once like a new competition and opens for a scholarship, like he enters it, but he also like is working as a caddy for a judge who's like one of the club's co-founders and the director of the caddy program, and so he felt that if he would actually work for him, he could also gain favor from the judge and win the scholarship. So yeah, so pretty much for like most of this film, he's really working for the judge to become well to win the scholarship. And then yeah, towards like the end of this film, he like ends up like turning on the judge and siding with Rodney Dangerfield's character, so like he can and he will make it worth his while, and then and then yeah, in the end, like the kid ends up like turning on the judge, and yeah, yeah, he sides with like Ronnie Dangerfield's character, and yeah, they like win a competition at the end of the film, and yeah, then like they like win the money for winning the match and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, and in this film, like you also do like have this like a side story going on throughout this film where Bill Murray plays the groundskeeper for the club, and apparently there's like a gopher that's damaging the golf course, and so yeah, and pretty much he's just been ordered to get rid of the gopher. So throughout this film, like he's just like doing a whole bunch of uh, traps to like try to kill the gopher and get rid of it. And he's just like setting like traps to the gopher throughout this entire film, and nothing works for him to uh, destroy the gopher. So, oh yeah, so that's just like another side story throughout this film where like okay, he's just like trying to get rid of the gopher throughout the film and just failing to do so. Yeah, and in this film also, the kid also ends up falling in love with the judge's niece that is like with him, and yeah, and yeah, and throughout this film, like it's just like with the kid like just becoming attracted to the niece, and they just like end up like falling in love and just having a and just like feelings for each other. Yeah, I mean it shows like at one point like they're like making out and stuff. They're like having sex in the bedroom, and even at one point the judge actually does catch them, and he actually does try to go after the kid, but and then the judge is later on the judge is just like very forgiving for that, and just like makes the kid promise not to say anything and just keep what happened a secret. And yeah, so yeah, there's just like stuff with the kid and the niece throughout the film as well. Yeah, yeah, and the film does have like quite a bit of like funny scenes to it. Like there's like a scene like in the pool in a pool where like one girl like ends up like throwing a chocolate bar into the pool, but like it's mistaken for a piece of crap, so everybody freaks out over it. Or yeah, and yeah, and just like the stuff with like a Ronnie Dangerfield's character and the judge, like it's pretty funny, and just like yeah, Ronnie Dangerfield's one-liners, there's just he steals the show, and also like towards the end of the film where the judge like just ends up like making that comment, well, we're waiting. Yeah, so yeah, the film really does have like a lot of like memorable lines like that throughout the film. Yeah, yeah, and it does have like funny scenes like the ones I mentioned, and yeah, just really, I really can't find really like too much to really say that's not good about the film. I mean, maybe there is like some stuff in here that really doesn't need to be in the film, but yeah, but yeah, it's very minimal. Like the good really does like overshine like what's not all that good about the film. I mean, there's not really anything particularly bad in this film, but just yeah, there's some stuff that really you could say like really is like just sort of like drag on and really just like really isn't needed in the film. But yeah, still like it is still overall a really good and funny film. So yeah, I would recommend this if you haven't watched it before. Yeah, it is pretty funny with like the stuff with Ronnie Dangerfield and the judge, and yeah, with Bill Murray's character trying to track down the gopher, and yeah, just and some funny just yeah some real memorable funny scenes in this film as well. So yeah, I would probably give the film I think around like a 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, it is definitely a pretty funny film and definitely worth a watch. So yeah, so yeah, so yeah, let me just like get right into the story of the film. Yeah, all right. So yeah, like I said, uh, the kid Danny Noonan, who's like I said, he's like 17, 18 years old, something like that. Yeah, he's working as a caddy at the Bushwood Country Club to earn like money for his college fund, because yeah, he like acknowledged that his parents really can't pay for his college, and uh, he was unable to get a scholarship for it, and he just does not want to be in a lumber yard forever. Yeah, and yeah, Danny is a caddy for a talented golfer named Ty Webb, who's played by Chevy Chase, and uh, Ty is also like the son of like one of the co-founders of the club. Yeah, 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 and he constantly forgets Danny's name, so he like is constantly calling Danny Betty, which is kind of funny. Like he's calling him a girl's name. Yeah, 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 and then then over time, like as a Ty and other people are like trying to like really like help Danny to really like be hopeful and really like gain confidence. Like he then like tries to gain favor with Judge Elihu Males, who was like the director for the caddy scholarship program, and then he starts caddying for Smales. And, yeah, yeah, then over time, then there's like another obnoxious golfer who's like very brash named Al Shervick, who's played by Rodney Dangerfield. He starts appearing at the club, and then he's just like heckling Smales constantly. He was always trying to sabotage his tees. He then makes his shots go badly. Yeah, and then like I said, then like the groundskeeper for the club, Carl Spackler, who's played by Bill Murray. He's just like told to really like get rid of the gopher that's been damaging the course and so and like I said, just throughout the film, he's just like setting up a bunch of traps to try to kill the gopher and get rid of it. He tried to shoot it with a rifle and a high pressure hose and was unsuccessful with it. Yeah, and then eventually at one point, then after like Shervek ended up making a wager with Smales, Hales, and caused his shot to go bad. Smales just like got like so like infuriated with Shervek and just like so pissed at him for always sabotaging his shot, and then he ended up like just throwing his golf club in the air, and it ended up injuring an elderly woman. Yeah, yeah, and as Smales was being confronted about it, Danny then took the responsibility for the incident and as an attempt to gain a favor from Smales, and then then like Smales like thanked Danny for that, and then was just like encouraging him to apply for the scholarship. Yeah, and then and later on, as the club was like having a banquet for the 4th of July, it showed that like Danny and his girlfriend Maggie were working as servers, but Shervek was just like irritating Smales and like other members of the club. And like I said, Danny ended up meeting Smales' niece Lacey Underall, and they then ended up becoming attracted to each other. Yeah, and then and like eventually after Danny like ended up winning the golf tournament for the scholarship, if like Smales then like had a christening ceremony on his boat, but then Shervek ended up like causing the boat to sink because he was also like in a larger boat out on the water and ended up causing Smales' boat to sink. Yeah, and after Smales ended up like returning home, like he then saw like Danny and Lacey in at his house in bed, head making out, and so then Smales then like ended up like going after Danny, like just like chasing him all around the house. Yeah, and then then the next morning, Danny then was just like really like expecting for Smales to like fire him or just revoke the scholarship. But then, as Smales was speaking to Danny, he then just told Danny to keep it a secret, and that he wasn't going to do anything else to Danny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then after, and then and then yeah, and then over time, Shervak was still like continuing to just be very ill mannered and just heckling everybody. And yeah, Smales finally just had enough of it, and then he announced that he won't be granted a membership, and so then and yeah, Sherbeck then just ended up insulting the country club, and then just claiming that he was there to evaluate buying it and developing land into condominiums. Yeah. Yeah, and then eventually, then Ty then interceded and suggests that they discuss a resolution over drinks. But then, when Smales was just demanding satisfaction for it, then Shervek made a proposal of a team match with Shervek teaming with Ty to face off against Smales and his regular golfing partner, Dr. Beeper. But yeah, they also against the club's rules. They also put down a $20,000 wager on the match. But yeah, due to um uh Sherbeck's heckling, they ended up doubling it to 40,000. And as a yeah, then they had the matchup the next day, and yeah, a crowd then gathered for the matchup after word spread around of the stakes involved, and then during the game Smales and Beeper were winning, but then and eventually as Sherbeck then just said that this was the worst game of his life. I then and he then ended up doubling the wager to $80,000. Yeah, and then Sherbeck then faked an injury after he ricocheted his own ball and it struck his arm, and so then he just faked his arm being injured to have the contest declared a draw. But the course official, well, Lou, who was played by Brian Doyle Murray, just told Sherbeck that the team will forfeit unless they do find a substitute. And then yeah, Webb then decided to choose Danny as a Sherbeck's replacement, and Smales did say that he would revoke the scholarship, but Danny then just said that he didn't want it anymore, and yeah, Sherbeck just told Danny that he would make it worth his while if he wins, and so then yeah, Danny chose to play and fill in for Sherbeck. Yeah, and then with the score tied as they reached the final hole, Smales was able to score a birdie, but then yeah, Danny then had to complete a very difficult putt to achieve an overall tie. And then yeah, Sherbeck doubled the wager again, and betting 80,000 for Danny to make the putt. Yeah, and then Smales agreed to it, and then just as Danny looked at Smales, then Smales then just said to Danny, "Well, we're waiting." Yeah, yeah, and then as Danny teed off the ball, then just as it was rolling toward the hole, it just stopped at the very edge. So yeah, it appeared that Danny and Webb and Sherbeck had lost the matchup, but then and with and Carl then detonated another explosive that he rigged around the golf course as another attempt to kill the gopher, and then yeah, the explosion just ended up shaking the ground, and then it made the ball drop into the hole which counted on it, and so then yeah, Danny, Webb, and Sherbeck were then declared the winners. Here's on the wager, yeah, and then. But then once Sherbeck then just told Smales to just hand over the money, Smales refused to pay, and so then Sherbeck then just had two big guys just chase Smales down, and just told them to help the judge find his checkbook, and then they just chased Smales across the course, and then yeah, as everybody then was just standing right outside of the clubhouse, then Sherbeck then just started a wild party with all the onlookers. Yeah, Yeah, but then then the movie then just then ended by showing just like the gopher just at some distance away, emerging from the underground, and just showed that he was unharmed by the explosion, and then was just dancing to "I'm All Right" amid the smoldering ruins of the course. And then then that's how the movie ended. It just cut to credits like that. So um yeah, so so the movie overall, it is a pretty good movie. Yeah, like I said, I mean, there are some like funny scenes in it and some memorable one-liners from Rodney Dangerfield, as well as the "well, we're waiting" hitting. Yeah, and just overall, it's just a pretty good and a funny movie. So like I said, I give it 3.5 stars out of 4. So yeah, so yeah, so some real funny stuff from like Rodney Dangerfield, as well as like the stuff with like Bill Murray's character trying to like kill the gopher throughout the film, and some funny stuff from like Ted Knight and Chevy Chase, and just some real funny performances, and just some funny, memorable scenes in this film as well. So just really, I can't really find too much to complain about with this film. So if you haven't seen it before, check it out. It is definitely like a really good film and has some very funny scenes in it. So so I guess that is like the best way I can put it. So I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So all right, so this does it for my review of Caddyshack. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and stay tuned for more sports movie reviews coming. All right, but I hope you guys did enjoy this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.